What's up, everybody? It's been a little bit since I've posted a video, so I wanted to take a minute to go over some of the strategies, see how they're performing, take a look at some of the new tools I've been building, and I can't wait to show you guys what is on the horizon. If you are not familiar with these tools, there is a link in the description below to the Patreon account. Once you sign up there, you'll have access to these tools and the Discord, and we can chat more there if you are interested in more details. I would love to have you. All of these are built on TradingView accounts, so you have to have a TradingView account, and the other tools I can get you set up with. So, all right, let's jump on in with some of the strategies that have been posted for quite a while and performing for quite a while. This Bitcoin 30-minute strategy has been doing just really great in the last month of August. You can see in July it took a bit of a hit, but August has more than made up for it. And even recently, there was quite a big a loss there. You can see just in the strategy, it took a tick down. So that's why it's important to scale in if you're trading. So I've had some new members that just joined, and you know, if you take a big loss right at the beginning, it's a little disheartening. So you can just go to the list of trades and see that it was it was about a 3.5% loss. Which if you're trading at 4x leverage, that's going to be closer to a 14% loss of your account. Again, the wins are also going to be scaled up by 4%. So you might have gained 20% in August, but starting off the first trade with a 14% loss is pretty tough. And without that loss, the account would have gained closer to, at 4x leverage, would have gained closer to like 34%, which is pretty nuts. But there's going to be losses. There's going to be months that are even in the red. So you just want to make sure you can hang on for those downturns. Let's keep moving here. Link. This is one of my oldest original strategies. It's been going forever and holding up pretty well. Just a little bit behind the Bitcoin strategy. But this one actually took like 3 losses in a row. And again, I really want to make the new members aware of what these losses can stack up to look like. Because if you take about 0.5% and then, it totals about a 3% loss there and then another 4% loss, that's a 7% loss. And again, if you're trading at 4x leverage, it's 7 times 4. So that's a 21% drawdown in your account if you would have happened to start trading right there. Now, of course, if you would have started trading a bit before that, you would have had nice runway to work with, so it would have been fine. But what I generally try to do is, look for places where the strategy takes some hits like this and slowly scale in. So if I was just starting this specific strategy, now would be generally, in my opinion, not financial advice, but my opinion, a pretty good time to do it because you just took some losses, and it's better than jumping in right when you've experienced a bunch of wins. It's also really important to know kind of where the market is at, and sometimes this is why we trade strategies. You don't really know what's coming, but usually when you're pushing the highs, in my opinion, it's generally not a great time to jump into a strategy. Because how often do the highs break? I mean, we've seen Bitcoin sit at the highs or not break the highs for months and months now. So anyway, all that to say, let's keep on going. Look at the Bitcoin 15-minute strategy. Now, this one's newer. I think it's only been around for about a month, maybe a little bit less than a month, but just doing really well. I actually think this is probably one of the best strategies I've created. Time will tell. It's not as old as some of the rest of them, but yeah, you can see that there's been positive month-over-month returns, and if I backtest it, it backtests all the way for the full history of Bitcoin just really, really well. It did take one loss here, and it unfortunately took a loss at about the lowest point that Bitcoin hit, and then it bounced back up. And I expect it'll probably hang, the price action will hang around here a bit. But it's also taken a few wins here. Another couple losses. So overall, you can see month over month doing really well. You can look at the list of trades and kind of see. And this one's built on Bitcoin as collateral, so the profit and loss will be in Bitcoin terms. But yeah, just some nice trades overall. Generally, losses are bigger than the wins, but there's way more wins. So the strategy tends to do really well. It's 70% win rate. and 90% net profit since October of last year. So doing really well. I'm trading this strategy currently and have been really happy. I think I started trading it somewhere around in here, this area. So my account is up still. Who knows what's to come in the future, but it is nice to at least have some cushion in the green. I'm going to go to the Solana strategy. This one is a 15-minute strategy built with the 15-minute bands. And also doing really well. The net is just crazy. Solana's been crushing it. You can see, even though this is a buy and hold return, so even though Solana outpaced it, the strategy has been making gains ever since Solana made its highs. So it was right here. So that's the important thing about trading a strategy. Again, sometimes the asset will have seen its highs, but a strategy will be able to continue to trade into profit even after it's seen its highs. So the buy and hold outpaced the strategy for a while. Now the strategy is starting to catch up, which is kind of good to see. Let's keep on going here. This is this is Solana. So this is another Solana one built on the 30-minute time frame. This one also just took some hits. So this one is actually, wow. You can see here, this is really, really major for if you're trading with leverage. Again, the month is still up 3%, but if you would have started trading partway through the month, you could have been hit with a lot of losses right there in a row. So if I was trading this strategy, I was not in my full account position, now might be a generally good time to scale in a little bit more. Again, the market is a little bit unsure right now, so who knows where it's going to go. But this one has seen some pullback. Again, it's still doing really great. I mean, I think I posted this strategy somewhere back in here. So if anyone started trading the strategy back when I posted it, they're up and doing pretty well. Another thing that I just want to point out, some of these strategies have a stop loss. And for newer members, some of those stop losses are not limit orders, which means that it waits for the bar to close. So if the bar closes at negative 15%, which is a black swan event or something crazy happens, that max stop loss will actually be wherever the bar closes. So it would be negative 15%. If you hit limit, that will make it a limit order, and then in the API entry fields here, you can also put in a field that will put in a limit stop as soon as the trade is entered, so that way it's waiting on the exchange and doesn't have to wait to get triggered from here. I trade some of these strategies without limit orders on them, but that's because I have a cushion to trade with, and I'm willing to take a big loss if it so happens. But you can see, if I take the limit order off, it's at 368. It's actually only a little bit different. Now, if you backtest this, the full history of Solana, it probably makes a little bit more difference. But the thing with limit orders is they can catch the trade at the worst possible place. But again, it's just you got to be aware of the risk you're going to take. All right, let's keep on moving here. So these are a couple different strategies I posted that use the VMP, which is from the Crown Discord, Eric Crown. He has developed this tool. It's a great tool to use. He also has developed the tool that the strategies are trading in, so this skeleton key right here. The tool that I developed to trade is the bands right here, if you are unaware of what those are, that kind of monitor price action and catch the lows and highs. But so this one uses the VMP to slim down the trades, and it generally has just a better equity curve. You can see it's a pretty great equity curve, at least in the bull market. You can see down here when it's going, Bitcoin price action is going sideways and down. This strategy tends to chop around a lot, but in a bull market, it does really well. And you can see recently this strategy has just done really incredible. So there's two versions I posted of this. This first one has 612 trades in the recent history. In my TradingView history goes back to 2020 because I have a pretty large account there. This other one only has 435 trades, but you can see the net profit is actually higher because it just has done better even in the choppy and the down period. So, and this one recently has done incredible. This month has done 6%. So I am really happy with the way this strategy has been holding up and performing. Now I do expect pullbacks to happen once you see a big a big gain, like you can see over here in 2020 when it had a 5% month. The next month was a 2% loss. So something to keep in mind sometimes when there's big months. Now, March had a 13% gain, and then April and May both were positive months. So you never know where you're at in the cycle, but this one has done really great. And when I see a steep gain like that pretty fast, I would just be aware of jumping in and trading full-on positions right now. But again, who knows? I could be wrong. Everyone has to trade at their own risk and discretion, but I'm just excited that this strategy is performing well and is promising for the future. All right, keep going here. So this is a short strategy, also been performing really well. It's a 1-hour strategy that I posted quite a while ago now, and I have been personally trading this one and really happy with its performance. It's a little bit more choppy. At times, short strategies are just a bit harder to nail and get right. But again, month over month, doing really well since I posted it. Let's move into a couple others. So this is a 2-hour. Now this one is in a trade that is about to be a massive loser. So let's see. It's down. Yeah, it's down almost 8%. This strategy, because it's on 2-hour, tends to just have bigger wins and losses. You can see the last two losses, it gained about 6%. So, it's about to, if you would have traded it starting here, you would only be down 2%, or if you would have traded further back, you might still be in the green. But you can see month over month, this one's actually, as of now, it's in the negative. The 2-hour, it does test well over the full history of Bitcoin. You can see this starts in 2017. And if I was to go back all the way and back test to 2011, it just crushes. It's done really well, but there are some periods you can see where it gets really choppy at the top. So right here, right there are the tops, and you can see there are some big pullbacks here and another long period of pullback. So the 2-hour actually, surprisingly, does not do super well with pullbacks. It's really great at making huge gaining trades when there are bull markets. But when you're at the top and when it's choppy, this strategy does not do super well, and you can kind of see that over here. It's not really made new highs for quite a while now in the strategy, so that's just something to keep in mind. I personally don't trade the 2-hour, but there are some people that are trading it, and if they've started trading it a while ago, still in profit, but it's a different kind of mindset, different kind of grind. So, all right, let's keep on moving here. This one is another short strategy. It's a 30-minute short strategy, and I might actually need to reevaluate this one because this month is at a 2% loss, even though there's been some nice downside this month, which I was hoping this strategy would perform a little bit better when there was downside. But I think it's really the chop that has been messing it up, because it's in past history when there was downside, it did do super well. I just don't think this strategy performs well when there's a lot of chop. As you can see over here, this is pretty choppy, and the strategy is mostly going sideways. But this is really volatile chop right there. So we'll see. I'm going to keep an eye on this one. I am currently trading it at a low position size just to see how it goes, and it's a newer strategy. But it will be great for the bear market whenever the bear market hits. All right, let's jump into a stock real fast. This is Apple chart. Been doing super well. I also have a NVIDIA a chart posted on the Discord, and that one's doing pretty well. Tesla and a few others. I got a couple other quick things to show you guys that I've been developing. Let's do it this way. So I'm developing some really high time frame strategies that backtest the full history of Bitcoin. Now this one I have made it start in 2012, because if I take off the date range and it starts in 2011, the strategy has just some crazy astronomical gains in the first 6 months that really aren't realistic. You can see right there, it quadruples over the period of a few months. So that's not very realistic. So I'm using the date range to kind of keep those unrealistic results out of it. But ever since 2012, even, the strategy has been doing super well. It's been doing super well even this last month. You can see the drawdown is a bit higher because, again, when you're trading a day time frame, you're going to have really high swings. So there's absolutely going to be more volatility happening. But over time, to trade at lower leverage and just something that you might trade inverse perpetual or something, it does really well. I'm gonna post this strategy soon. I've not released these bands or strategies yet. And on that note, the 2-day is also really great. I think it actually outperforms. Yeah, it outperforms the 1-day strategy. Has an incredible profit factor, a great percent profitable. It's only almost 70% wins versus 30% losses. Average trade is incredible. So this strategy I'm stoked about. Again, it's new. I've not posted it yet, so I'm gonna probably post it pretty soon. I want to keep an eye on it for a little bit before I really start trading it, but it seems like it is a pretty solid strategy. The last thing I'm developing is the 5-minute bands. These have been a real challenge, but I think are going to be some of the best bands I've created. You can see it really since the backtest in 2018, which is about as far as I can get it to backtest because there's so much data to process. It's over 4,000 trades, and so it keeps giving me errors if I backtest it further than 2018. But it's done incredibly well since 2018. It's still made some really great gains over the past few years. You can see month over month, it's doing pretty well. Now this one does look a little bit more choppy because it's a 5-minute time frame. So, you don't have a lot of data to go on, but you can see it has outperformed Bitcoin recently, even on a 5-minute strategy, even with the choppiness. So for me, that's good news. This is really new, so I'm gonna have to keep an eye on it to see how it performs. But right now, it's in a trade. It looks like the trade is in profit, which is good, and it's got some decent results for the past few months and for the full history. So I am stoked to release this. I might develop it a little bit more. Yeah, anyway, this is kind of what I wanted to go through today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you have any thoughts or questions either in the comment section below or jump on our Discord and give me a shout, and I will see you guys in the next one.